cloak, revealing a, quote, most hideous and frightful appearance.
My dick is out.
Yeah.
And with fiery eyes, he spewed blue and white flames onto Jane's face and then tore off her gown and inflicted bloody scratches on her neck and arms with ice-cold metallic claws.
I swipe you, I swipe you, I swipe you, I swipe you, I swipe you. And away, Spring Hill Jack, to the night sky, and chippity jump.
I think he vomited like the worst booze in London all over her probably as well. Ugh, that's the worst part.
But Jane's sister appeared, and Jack fled. Next up was Lucy Scales.
So how did she get out of this one? She just fought him off?
No, her sister appeared, and Jack said, away!
Away, Jack. Okay.
And a chippity jump.
He can only handle one at a time.
Yeah.
So Lucy Scales, on February 28th, she was 18. She was returning with her sister from their brother's house in Limehouse. And as they were passing the Green Dragon Alley, Lucy came across a man in a large coat who unexpectedly spurted out blue flame onto her face, disabling her sight and triggering violent seizures which lasted for hours.
Crazy. And then he sexually assaulted her as well?
No, he just spit shit in her face and ran off.
What is this guy up to?
Lucy Scales did not really fit Spring Heel Jack's level of attractiveness.
Yeah, I think he's got it all wrong. I mean,
he has a cantaloupe in a satchel, and he lifts it up, and if her breasts are not the size of the cantaloupe, then he only burns them with the seizure flames.
let him go.
And then he jumps into the sky.
What is this stuff?
Oh, son. In August of 1877, a few years later, actually a few decades later, at the Aldershot Barracks in North Camp Central Road, a sentry came across a strange figure who advanced towards him and slapped him several times across the face.
And Spring Hill Jack, that's what you get. A slippity slap. Slap, 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 slap. And away you go.
And the guard shot at him, but to no avail. And the figure then disappeared with astounding leaps. Hence, the Spring Hill Jack connection.
Snickety snuck. A Spring Hill Jack. Try to catch him. You'll always fail. Jibbity jump.
This guy just getting away like that constantly with the jumps. And it can't be the fastest way to move.
I just think this is a crackhead. Yeah. After a while, it just sounds like a guy on PCP.
Definitely.
Spring Hill Jack, he disappeared for centuries. He was gone for, or at least reports of him disappeared for centuries, because I'm sure not every encounter with Spring Hill Jack was reported to the Bobby.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, all those underreported Spring Hill Jack cases. Man, we could go on and on about those.
Spring Hill Jack just went on to record successful flute albums.
Where he just goes like, yeah, Spring Hill Jack, laying on the sweet British flute.
And those albums also never made it out.
I think they're successful. That sounds great. And if you can jump and play the flute, you got something. That's a real show.
Oh, yeah. The dude from Jethro Tull could fucking manage to just stand on one leg.
And they beat Metallica out for most rock and roll album of the year.
That they did.
The problem is that he would keep, they would get him into the studios, and they would set up all the mics, and he'd be sitting there all nice, and they're like, you ready? Are you ready to go, Jack? You ready to go? He's just like,
I'm ready to record.
it's like, okay, so we're just gonna come in there. We're gonna do a little adjustments of level.
A slippity slap, Spring Hill Jack, and away you go. No recording studio can hold me. I'm Spring Hill Jack.
Sounds like a very similar Charles Manson experience there for that poor record producer.
Yeah, I think Charles Manson and Spring Hill Jack recorded much the same. So in the 1920s, that's when Spring Hill Jack returns. One woman said Jack appeared to her in an alleyway and shot a beam of light from his chest, blinding her.
Wow.
And a man in the same alley said he sprung away like a bird taking flight. And then another account tells of him attacking policemen, spitting a luminous gas in their faces.
Cool. He sounds like a Iron Man or something.
it just sounds like, he's lighting his incredibly alcoholic-ridden fucking burps on fire.
Yeah.
And he doesn't show up again for another few decades. He shows up in the 1970s, where the inhabitants of Attercliffe in Sheffield complained about a red-eyed figure who punched women.
What? I mean, this guy, he's everyone's drunk uncle. He's just a combination of everybody's drunk uncle. And then they made up one story to kind of like, you know, what's Uncle Larry like? He's like Spring Hill Jack.
It's just like in England, you had like two types of people. You have Winston Churchills and you have Spring Hill Jack.
That's it.
They're either like sexless, old, kind of don't even think about it and just say witticisms and sip on brandy, or they're fucking rapists.
But the reason why this was the man who punched women, the reason why there was a Spring Hill Jack connection there is because he was rumored to jump between rooftops and walk down the sides of walls.
Cool.
And in South Herefordshire, a salesman named Marshall had encountered in 1986.
Now, this was the guy who started the original Marshalls, which is also important to remember for the rest of the story.
Right. So he's trustworthy.
Yes, he's very trustworthy. He encountered a man who took gigantic leaps and slapped him on the road.
Jumpity jump, 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 jump. Oh, where are you going? What's your name?
My name's Marshall.
Oh, Marshall, so lovely to meet you. Tell me, I was wondering, so you work at a shop, right? What do you think of this cloak? Do you like it?
I think it's fine.
Thank you. Slippity slap, spring your jacket. Away I go.
There he goes. Off again. He doesn't really seem to do much other than that, huh?
Slippity slap, there I go. That's Spring Hill Jack in a nutshell.
Gonna randomly punches people.
So in West Surrey, many school-going children reported seeing a man who was all black with red eyes who could run as fast as a car.
Cool.
Spring Hill Jack just like fucking pounding crack in an alleyway. It's like,
So, Spring Hill Jack's feeling kind of low energy. Better get my jumping rock going. Spring Hill Jack's feeling good.
He is back. I think, yeah, jumping rock is my favorite thing. Crack cocaine. It's the jumping rock. It's kind of fun.
Spring Hill Jack has survived until today. In February of 2012, Scott Martin and his family were traveling in a taxi when they saw a dark figure skitter across the street and climb a roadside bank in seconds near Nescott College in Ewell Bypass.
That seems like skittering
These are
Steve.
British people being racist.
Yeah. That's a skitter, not a jump. I'm not going to give that to Jack.
Well, he skittered across the road.
Yeah, but I never heard of Jack skittering so far.
And well, we think, okay, Spring Hill Jack, he's over in the UK.
We're safe.
Us right here?
Yeah.
Us, Ben Kissel, Henry Zabrowski, myself, we're safe from the man.
We don't have to worry about Spring Hill Jack.
We don't. Let
them deal with it.
Yeah, let them deal with it. However, Spring Hill Jack has been sighted in America since 1892.
Oh, my.
What the fuck?
Yes.
You know, it's true. If we couldn't stop Osama bin Laden, how the fuck are we supposed to stop Spring Hill Jack?
Yeah, think about it.
In 1892.
Think about it.
I'm thinking about it. In 1892, a 7 to 12 foot tall phantom dressed all in white with horns on its head was seen spitting fire in the vicinity of the jail in Raymond Street, right here in Brooklyn, New York.
This is 1892?
1892.
Well,
Cool.
that was just the first rave that had ever happened in Brooklyn.
Quiet rave with one man at it.
I just also was imagining Spring Hill Jack on the plane coming over to do 9/11, coming from LA, and him just literally being like,
Oh, so when do I pounce on the pilot? And I do my, I crawl and I sneak in between the chairs. And then I spring into the cockpit and I slippity slap, and away I go.
Mr. Jack, we appreciate your hate for America. We appreciate your energy. You're really inspiring all the rest of us. But we are going to have to shoot you in the head, right?
Got to.
Right, guys?
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're ruining all the shit.
Yeah, you can't have Spring Hill Jack taking credit for 9/11. There's no way that would go down nearly as well as it went down after what they
No,
did.
he's a liability.
He's
Right.
not a planner.
No, he's a jumper.
Yeah. Erratic is what
Yeah.
they call him. And a few years later, at exactly 11:55 p.m. out in Long Island.
Whoa.
Mind you, this guy's very regional to us. Every night, a specter appears at the churchyard, jumping to and fro, trying to read inscriptions on the tombstones. And when the clock strikes 12, the ghost positions himself atop a stone, spurts out 12 fireballs, no more, no less.
Skippity skip, away I go.
What a shitty afterlife this ghost has. 5 minutes of jumping around, not being able to read gravestones because he never got that education. And then he just has to go vomit on top of one 12 times.
Too ripped on Drumping Rock. Then he goes up to like fucking.
He's like, excuse me, Gino. So I hear this island is pretty long, Long Island? Haha. I'm also referred to as Strong Island. I see your arms, very big, very strong. I